So my name's Ace Emerson. I had bought this house 3 years ago from Jeff Nortrica. He'd owned this, and he bought a lot of really cool, interesting properties throughout Atlanta, Georgia. And he's one of my good buddies, and he thought this would be like the ultimate bachelor pad. Like right when you walk inside, it had these 16-foot ceilings when you came in. This old tin. It was just a beautiful kind of, I guess, a big chapter room where they used to have their meetings, and then you had a stage right in the middle. And then you had these kind of a stairwell that went up. You had like the little, kind of not a living room area, but a little set area. Then it was just like a little room upstairs, and the bathrooms over here with the kitchen. And when I was working on the place, it was a strong house, and I just loved it. And it had some water problems, and a huge tree had smacked into the side back in the 80s. And as you can see, all this stuff's kind of a newer on this side of the house where they had rebuilt it. Some members of I guess some people from the DER got money to kind of put into it. And but one night, I guess I had this really terrible nightmare. I was working in here, and actually I'd found a ring, this gold ring with diamonds, small diamonds, in the stairwell when I was remodeling the place. And it was really cool. I always thought, I still have the ring to this day, but I just thought it'd be kind of, I could just see the poor girl in the early 20s that just lost her ring, kind of freaking out, and my heart kind of went out to her. But I could always feel, kind of a soul, kind of a feeling to this house when I was working on it. And but that night when I went home, I had this terrible, terrible nightmare. And the next morning, you can shake off nightmares, but I couldn't shake it off. And I just had this terrible feeling inside, and it was just telling me it just wasn't the right thing for me to do. I just wasn't supposed to do it. And I'd already spent 3 months, and I'd already done a lot of work. I already spent a fortune on it, pretty much. And but it just didn't feel right. And good thing is the guy who owned it previously, who's owner finance, said he has so many properties. He let me out of the owner finance, and we did another deal with some other stuff. But it was, I would have never done anything structurally with it. The roof was strong. It was a strong house. It had some drainage problems on the two corners right here, but I just don't think it was designed for 2 inches of ice. So, and I just know if I was in the house, that was where my room was going to be, right there. And I just know that I would have died in this house if I didn't end up getting it. So I'm so glad I listened to that little voice, which I think, now thinking about, I think it was God talking to me. So.